What can I be doing better in our household? The thing that just grinds my gears. We've actually created designated zones for where things go. It just removes the question for me from a day-to-day basis of what am I going to eat for lunch today? To put on a social media straitjacket, if you will. Over the past few months, I feel as though I have just kind of been going through the motions when it comes to motherhood, when it comes to homemaking. I think sometimes we can just get comfortable with certain ways of doing things, and then doing anything differently seems either really hard to do or impossible. But my husband and our 3 kids just got back from a family vacation where we were away from our home for 10 days. And during that time, I think it gave me an opportunity to kind of reflect and think about the way things have been going in our home, and also make a plan to come back and make things better. So I asked my husband a question that is very humbling to ask, and it was, what can I be doing better in our household so that I am actually serving you and our kids more than I am simply serving our house? Coming out of that conversation, we came up with a list of different things that we can do to create more efficiency in the way that I run our house, simply so that we can create more margin for me to spend more time with my husband and my kids, and less time just managing the everyday tasks of our home. So if you are interested in hearing about what those life adjustments are going to be and how you can also simplify and streamline your homemaking, just keep watching. The first thing on the list, and this is so insanely practical that it almost sounds silly to say, but it is starting from scratch when it comes to our kids' socks. I kind of go back and forth when it comes to the folding of kids' laundry in general. I know that there are some people that are huge proponents of never fold the kids' laundry, just put it into their drawer so that they can have the process be really simple for them as well. You don't have to worry about folding, just make sure it gets into the drawer. But I also find that in that system, it's really easy for things to get lost, and we're always wondering where the pants are, where that shirt is. So I do still fold my kids' laundry, but the thing that just grinds my gears, and I'm sure it does for you guys as well, is the socks just always disappearing, very rarely being able to find the right match when it comes to both size and color. And now that our kids are at a place where we have an almost 18-month-old, a 4-year-old, and a 3-year-old, realistically, their sock size is pretty marginally different. I can make the same size sock work for my 18-month-old as I can for my 4-year-old. And so that is what we are doing. We are getting rid of all of the socks, all of the different ankle socks, the patterned socks, the colored socks, and we are streamlining it by getting a larger quantity of the same sock in the same size in the same color, so that my kids are really just needing to go and grab 2 socks from the drawer and it will work for them every time. When I tell you that this is a game changer when it comes to laundry and folding and putting everything away, it will save you so much time. So if you are tired of managing all of the different tiny kid socks in your home, get rid of them all, streamline it, and thank me later. The next thing that I am changing is also laundry related, and it's because, let's be honest, this is where we are losing a lot of our time and efficiency in motherhood, and my current laundry system is 1 load per day. I have just found that that is the best way to keep the piles of laundry and the folding of the laundry from getting too out of hand in my home. But the change that I am making is using a feature that has been on my laundry machine this entire time, and I just haven't been utilizing it properly, and that is the speed washing feature. For some reason, I have just had it in my head that unless you wash your clothes on the normal setting, which takes anywhere from like 40 to 50 minutes to even sometimes 60 minutes to wash laundry, that the clothes are not getting cleaned. My husband challenged this thought though, and he was like, if you think about it, for generations and generations, people are taking their laundries down to rivers. They're like hand washing it, scrubbing it, getting it wet, putting it on the line and moving on. And I was like, you know what? You're actually right. And there is a time and a place for those longer cycles, things like heavy bedding, towels, clothes that are very like deeply soiled. That is when the longer wash cycles are probably necessary. But for these faster, quick loads that I'm doing, where I'm not actually overly filling the drum, all I need to do to get clean clothes is pre-treat anything from the kids specifically that has any stains on it or things that need a little bit of extra care, putting them into the washing machine, running the cycle for 25 minutes at max. And what do you know? I'm getting the same level of cleanliness that I was getting before, but I'm cutting my laundry time by 50%. I'm sure to some people this is just common sense, but if you have just been using the typical standard wash cycle on your laundry machine, check what options you have to shorten that time. You'd be surprised at how much faster you can actually be getting this done. With the time that I am saving by getting the clothes out of the washing machine faster, I'm getting them into the dryer faster. And I'm actually able to wash, dry, fold, and put clothes away in one day. This is like revolutionary. The next change that I am going to be making for the season of life that we are in our family is batch cooking dinners. So long story short, I have been meal planning and grocery shopping and cooking home cooked dinners for our family for a very long time. I just found a system that really worked and that I enjoyed. And so typically I am cooking a net new dinner like 5 to 6 times a week. We will sometimes save a little bit of that for lunch the next day, but it's always a new dinner every night. When my husband and I were looking at our family calendar in my life and his life and just looking for opportunities for efficiency, it just kind of came up like, is that necessary? Is that something that we need to do in this season? And it's not that we need to replace that with like quick service food, but what if I, while I was cooking, were to just cook larger quantities of the same healthy foods that I'm making for our family to eat every night, and we just ate that for a few more nights of the week? At first, I will admit the thought made me a little bit sad because I do enjoy cooking and I love to be able to try new recipes for our family. But at the end of the day, what is more valuable is gaining back those 2 hours every other night where I just have the opportunity to connect with my kids without the dinner rush beginning, or to connect with my husband as he's coming home instead of being in the kitchen and busy finishing up dinner for that night. The new game plan is that I am going to be batching dinners on like an every other night basis. So I will cook with the intention of that feeding us either the next night or the following night. And we will kind of go on this every other night model where one night we are eating the new meal that I have made and the next night we are eating some sort of leftover from either the day before or the day before that. I am looking forward to the margin that I think that is going to create, not just for my kids, but also in my marriage and just having that time when my husband gets home. I have to admit that one area I have been slightly nervous of in this approach of moving to eating more kind of leftovers throughout the week is picky eating. And if there happens to be a night that I make something that my kids don't love and they don't necessarily want to eat again, how we would navigate that and just making sure that they're getting the right nutrients and all of these things. And one of the things that I know is going to really help me in this area, as it always does, is our Haya multivitamins. Haya is a children's multivitamin that's got 0 sugar and 0 gummy additives. It's clean, it tastes great, and my kids have been taking this for over 2 years now. They are pediatrician approved and they contain 12 organic fruits and vegetables and 15 essential nutrients. So I know that my kids are getting the full body nourishment that they need to grow into healthy adults. When you place your first order with Haya, you will get this reusable glass jar, and it comes with little stickers that your kids can decorate and use to make the jar feel like their own. And after that, you will keep using this same jar that they have customized. They will send you an eco-friendly refill pouch that you can pour into this jar. And the best thing is that it comes to your door every single month and you just don't have to think about it. Haya has also recently launched their kids' daily greens and superfoods, which is a chocolate flavored greens powder that helps with digestion, development, brain power, and more. We also love Haya's kids probiotic over here. And I also love that their products are non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, nut-free, allergy-free, basically free of anything you could imagine. My kids absolutely love Haya. They ask for it every single day, and I know that your kids will too. So if you are interested in checking them out, Haya is offering viewers of my channel 50% off of your first order. All you have to do is go to hayahealth.com/BethMoore. I will put that up in the screen or down in the description box for you. And when you purchase through that link, you will get 50% off your first order. This deal is not available on the regular website. So again, if you want to save 50% off with Haya, head to that link, hayahealth.com/BethMoore to save. So thank you so much to Haya for working with me on today's video. The next thing that we are simplifying and streamlining in our home is the cleaning process. I, a while back, came up with this whole daily kind of structure for what I wanted to do every day. And it was like, these days I clean the bedrooms, these days I clean the bathrooms, these days I do this. It wasn't working for me after a while. In the beginning, I was really excited. I was sticking to it. And then I found that having different places to clean by day just wasn't clicking in my brain properly, because it was like, well, this space is dirtier than that space, so why would I clean that on this day? And it just wasn't gelling with me anymore. And so I realized realized that I needed to just have a better way of doing this. And so the system that I'm going to follow now is essentially both my husband and I on Saturday mornings are going to have a 2-hour time block together where we crush anything that we need to get done in the house. For me, this is going to be a lot of stuff inside the house. For him, it's going to be a lot of the stuff that needs to happen outside of the house. When it comes to how we will also take care of our kids during this process, our plan is that we will involve them and maybe divide a little bit out. Like some of them will go out with dad, some of them will stay in and help me. But this 2-hour time block once a week is the time that we are going to use to get everything done in the house that hasn't been done yet during the week. I am always cleaning our house throughout the week. I am cleaning messes as they are made. I am tidying up as I go. I'm decluttering as I go. So I don't necessarily feel as though breaking up the rooms that need to get cleaned by day is the best strategy for me. I tend to operate better and just have more clarity mentally when I am taking care of and cleaning our whole house throughout the week. But those deeper cleans, those things that might need more time and attention, like cleaning all of the windows or wiping down all the baseboards, those are the types of things that will fall into that Saturday 2-hour time block. So many weeks were going by where there were things on the list that were just not getting done, and it's because we did not have it scheduled and in our calendar. So I think that having this in our calendar now mentally for both of us is such a helpful thing, because if there's something that needs to happen around the house and you just have no idea when you're going to get the time to do it, we always know that Saturday is coming and we will have time within that 2-hour block to check those things off of the list. The next thing that I am simplifying and bringing more efficiency into is the organization of all of the different types of food in our house. So think fridge, think pantry, and then spice cabinet. These are areas of our home that I just don't really see mess. It's not good, but it's one of those places that I can shut the door, and if I can fit it on the shelf, I'm fine to move on. My husband is very type A, and so when he opens the fridge and it's like, why is this here? And there are 2 of these here, and all of this is just like so chaotic. It's not working for him mentally, and what is not working for me is that I'm not seeing things in the back that I've just kind of put stuff in front of, and that's just me being honest. But we need to find a better system for this. So what we are doing moving forward is we've actually created in all of these different areas of our home designated zones for where things go in all of them. So starting with the fridge, there is a designated zone for all of the like tall sauces. There is a designated zone for all of the shorter things like canned jams, olives, sun-dried tomatoes. There's also designated drawers in the fridge where it's just fruits and vegetables. There is a designated spot now for the meat and the cheese and all of that. And each of the shelves, we have kind of written out a plan of this is what goes in this spot. And once a week before new groceries come in, we do a scan, we do a look through everything to check for anything that's expired or anything that is half empty that we should just be using, or anything that we don't need to reorder because we still have it in the fridge. We literally, to make this so easy for me to remember, put on the front of the fridge a list of this zone is this thing. The right side of the fridge, this is where this goes. And I have found that this has just been a much better system than me just sticking things in haphazardly, because it was just getting way too chaotic in our fridge. Similarly, we've done the same thing with the pantry, where for each of the different levels that we have in the cupboard that we keep all of our food, we've reorganized things so that we know what goes where very specifically. All of the cereal will never go in another spot other than where the cereal is supposed to go. All of the baking things stay on the baking shelf. All of this stuff has a home now that we have designated in the pantry. So when there's something that you want to go and look for, you know where to look. The exact same thing happened in our spice cabinet, which is where we also store our teas. We went through and organized everything visually by the type of spices that was there, by the brand names, and the peace of mind and the clarity mentally that this gives you while cooking is actually just out of this world, to know where everything is and to not be hunting for it. Yes, it does require a little bit of intentionality, but once you have the system, if the system is simple enough, it really is easy to stick to it. The next change that we are making is around our meal prepping. Historically, I have been meal prepping for my husband on Sunday evenings. What I have not been doing during that time is making food for myself. I've only been making whatever food my husband wants to eat to meet his health goals or his macros or whatever else. And I have just been eating whatever the kids are eating for lunch during the week or leftovers from the night before. Oftentimes though, what ends up happening is that in the rush and in the mix of getting my kids lunch during the day, I am just snacking. I'm not actually getting a proper, good, and solid lunch. And so I just had the thought, what if instead of me scrambling during that time or we're not eating and then crashing in the afternoon because I'm nutritionally depleted, I actually just meal prepped all of my lunches at the same time that I am making yours. That way we're both able to meet some of our health goals and to stay on top of that. It's something that we could actually do in the kitchen together to enjoy quality time before the week starts. And it also just removes the question for me from a day-to-day basis of what am I going to eat for lunch today. The fact that I will be able to just pull a lunch out of the fridge when I'm ready to eat during the day is just going to be so nice and remove the question for me of like, what am I going to eat while I am feeding my kids? So that is a change that I'm looking forward to as well. The next change that I am going to be making doesn't on paper feel to me like I'm simplifying my life, but it is in the sense that it means that I'm going to spend a lot less time ordering and managing and buying kids snacks. And that is that I am going to be transitioning to making the snacks that my kids eat the most often homemade so that they are in our house whenever we need them. One of the ones that it is just time for me to perfect and make on a weekly or bi-weekly basis is granola bars. My kids love granola bars, and I know that they are pretty simple to make. I've actually done them a number of times before, but have just fallen out of the habit of doing this on a weekly basis. And the amount of money that we have been pouring into made good snacks, like, don't get me wrong, I love made good, they're great, but we're spending a pretty penny on things like granola bars right now. Other things like little cheese crackers that we can eat when we make our snack plates, mini muffins for my baby girl who absolutely loves to just like wake up and eat something immediately, but I don't necessarily want to grab breakfast yet, so sometimes that just becomes a snack. Like, the snacks are just lying left, right, and center in our household, and I don't know if it's because I'm also homeschooling that it feels like we're going through them so quickly these days, but it's just gotten out of hand. And so one of the ways that I am just trying to simplify life and budget and just reduce the mental load of having to shop for all these grocery snacks is batch making snacks from home so that they are on hand when we need them. I would absolutely love if you guys have homemade snack recipes that you are going to often for your kids. If you could drop those down in the comment section, because I'm going to be saving all of them and looking to them for inspiration. So please share anything that you have below. The final way that I am simplifying my life and creating more margin, more space as a mom is by using the brick. I love this thing. I'm sure that you guys have been hearing about this on social media recently, but essentially a brick is like this tiny little device. Hold on, I'll grab it for you. This is also in no way sponsored. I have just been loving this recently, but this is what it looks like. It's this little tiny magnet square. But essentially how this works is you download the Brick app to your phone, and then you can set up for yourself different apps that you want to kind of lock yourself out of, brick yourself out of is what I say. So for me, most of the time, that is the social media apps. It's things like Instagram, it's YouTube, it's TikTok, it is email, even sometimes Facebook, whatever you find that you go to for those quick dopamine hits or to just kind of zone out during your day or to rest. Those are the things that I will intentionally lock myself out of. And you do that using this brick device. So you set your apps on your phone and then you go and you scan your phone to this brick, and you cannot get back into those apps until you scan back into this brick. You can choose a central point in your house of where you want to keep this. I keep ours on the side of our kitchen fridge, and this brick can work for your entire family. So if your husband is also really struggling with phone addiction and phone usage and you want to just cut back on your own screen time, download the Brick app, get a family brick that you can all use together, and then you can all tap your phones and just be completely disconnected. What I love about it is that you still do have access to the things that you might need to have access to. So when I'm bricked out of my phone, I'll usually just set it down somewhere, but if someone is calling me or a text is coming through that I need to answer for whatever reason, I can still access all of those things, and I didn't have to delete anything off of my phone. As a creator, it doesn't make sense for me to be deleting these apps all the time, so I just brick myself out, and it's a really great way to put on a social media straitjacket, if you will. Commit to not wasting time on your phone, putting it aside, and spending the time where it actually matters in your home. I think that there are so many things in our life that we wish we had more time for, and a lot of the time that we do actually have for those things is just being funneled right into our phones. Whenever we get a free minute, we're sitting down, we're scrolling, we're going to the bathroom, we're scrolling, like we are just zapping our mental capacity and taking the breaks that we could be having or the time that we could be using productively and wasting it on our phones. So as much as I don't like to share a product idea when it comes to simplifying your life, this is one of those ones that I actually do think helps us to kind of return to that way of living that a lot of us are probably feeling nostalgic for these days, of like life without the constant stream of content and people in your ear and things to listen to. Like it's just quieter when you can lock yourself out of your phone with this. So that is something that I would highly recommend if you are looking to simplify your life and get more margin as a mom. Well, you guys, those are all of the things that I am personally doing right now to simplify my homemaking and motherhood. And I dare you to go and ask the same question to your husbands. It can be definitely humbling, and I think it's good to just prepare your heart to know that whatever the response is, that it has nothing to do with you or your value as a homemaker or a mom. Sometimes it is just helpful to get feedback of how am I doing in this area? Does it feel like things are operating efficiently? If there is anything in our home that could operate differently, what would it be and how would that best serve you? I think at the end of the day, we just forget that the goal of maintaining and managing our homes is not just for the sake of serving our homes, but for serving those in it. And so what are the ways that we can do that better for the people that live in our homes? It is a great question to ask, and I would love if you guys did that. Come back with your own list of maybe the things that you have been losing efficiency in, the things that you can actually make some small tweaks to get more margin back as a mom. I would love to know what changes you guys are interested in making down in the comment section. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and for being here as always. I did want to remind you that if any of you are interested in checking out Haya's multivitamins, that you can get 50% off of those using my link. So it's down in the description box. I will put it again here, hayahealth.com/BethMoore, to save 50% off. So thank you to Haya for working with me on this video. Thank you guys so much for being incredible. I love each and every one of you. And until my next video, I will be praying for you, and I will see you soon. Bye.